Modeling and solving equations with balances. All right, here we have some pictures of, these are bags, picture brown paper bags, and any number of apples could be in there. So here are the wonderful apples. And so we don't know how many are in here, but some amount. Okay, so this is an unknown, and we can write this using a variable. So let's say we use the variable, the letter x. Okay, so this one bag would be 1x. And here we have 2 apples. Okay, so that could just be our unit. And we could say that this here, 1 bag and 2 apples, can be represented by x plus 2. And in much the same way, here we've got 1, 2, 3 bags. Okay, so that's 3 times x. And we'll write that as 3x. Don't need the multiplication sign there. And there's 1 apple. Okay, so that will be plus 1. So we don't know how many apples are inside the bags, and these are 2 different equations. So there could be a different amount of apples in these bags versus how many are in this one bag. But here's an equation and here's an equation, and we've modeled it using bags and apples. Okay, so the bags is our variable, and this is our unknown quantity. So if we look at this and we want to make an equation, we can help sort of solve the equation by picturing it as a balance. Okay, so here's an equation. Here is 1 bag and 4 apples. Okay, so this 1 bag will be our one unknown variable, and we can say that that is x. And there's 4 apples, so it'll be x plus 4. So on this side of the balance, there's x plus 4, or 1 bag and 4 apples. And you can see this like a teeter-totter, right? It sort of balances around the fulcrum here, which is a triangle. On this side, we can write an equation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 apples. Okay, so that's just the integer 10. This is just the number 10 over here. And so this is an equation. It's balanced on each side, which means they're the same, which means it's equal. Okay, so x plus 4 equals 10. This is a representation here using bags, apples, and this balance. Well, we can also use this to figure out what the solution is, right? We can figure out, well, how many apples must there be in this bag so that this balance remains balanced, right? It remains horizontal here. If there were too many apples in here, then it would just fall down, right? And if there were too few, then this side would be too much, and then it would fall down this way, and in which case it would be unbalanced. But we know that it is balanced. So how do we find out how many apples are in this bag? Well, we can remove an apple from this side, and if we do that, we also remove an apple from this side, it will still remain balanced, right? If we just take this apple away and this apple away, we should still be balanced. It will still stay horizontal. Take one of these apples away. If we just took the 1 apple away, then of course this side would be too heavy and then it would come down and hit the ground. But if we take away the same amount of apples, then it will stay balanced. So we'll remove this one, and then finally these 2. So we can see we're left with 1 bag, which is what we wanted, right? We just want to find out, well, how many apples are in this bag to make this thing balanced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, as you can see from our picture here, that there must be 6 apples in this bag to make this thing balanced. There must be 6 apples in this bag. Okay? And so this should make sense because there were 4 apples before. If we had 6 more apples in this bag, there would be 6 plus 4, which is 10 apples. And if there's 10 apples on this side and 10 apples on this side, then it must be equal. Okay, so we can look also at basically what happens with some math here. So if we have 1 bag and we write, let's say we multiply that by 3, well, that will equal 3 bags, okay? And we can do the inverse operation of multiplication. We could also say, okay, well, if we have 3 bags, right, and we divide that by 3, then we will get 1 bag. Okay, so we can use variables to also figure out the same thing here, right? We could write b times 3 in this case, right? B for bag this time instead of x. B times 3, and how would we write that? We would write 3b, right? Equals, how many bags do we have here? 1, 2, 3, equals 3b, okay? So that one still works. And here there are 3 bags, so we have 3b, and we're dividing it by 3, okay? 3b divided by 3 equals 1b, which we would just write as b. 1b, you don't need the 1 in front, so it's just b. If you have 1b, you just write b. So, a bag times 3 gives me 3 bags, and 3 bags divided by 3 gives me 1 bag. So, how does this help us? Well, what this means is, if we have a bag, and we multiply them by 3, okay, and then we divide by 3, we're just going to be left with 1 bag. We're just putting those two equations together. So b times 3, and then divided by 3, equals b.